Hey guys, Nina here, welcoming you to another reading from the Ladies of Horror Picture Prompt Monthly Challenge, hosted by Elaine Pascal on her channel, The Godmother of Horror. If you'd like to read along or read previously published pieces, please visit spreadingthewritersword.com or ladiesofhorror.com. In the meanwhile, enjoy the reading.
Lord Wad by Kathy Ree. Lord Walter Wad cut a dashing figure. He was the host of fabulous parties, generous and kind to those who worked his land, and was popular among the townsfolk. His hunting skills rivaled anyone's in the land. Everywhere he went, men fought to be in his company. Women swooned in his presence, and even little children rushed out to offer him presents as he strode about town and country. At least, this is what his ego told him. And his ego was so big, it had to ride in a separate carriage. The last time he decided to expand his mansion, no one objected at all as he mowed down a huge swath of forest to make room for it. Even the woodcutters who made their living off that land had no complaint, especially after a few of them were given some of his care for their protests. Bits of them still hung from poles at the edge of the remaining forest. They'd been unhappy, so sending them to eternity had been a mercy. After that, no one complained. Apparently, everyone else was happier with those few gone. If you asked anyone over whom he had any authority, they would tell you, in hushed tones away from any listening ears, that Walter Wad was a despot. His parties were peopled with lackeys who were paid generously to keep him company, and he took advantage of the peasants who labored to bring in a profitable yield. Never enough, of course. Townsfolk crossed to the opposite side of the street when they saw him coming, and the children's presents were whatever they could find to throw at him. And his hunting skills were not skills as such, for who could call a decimation of dozens of animals at a time a skill? But that ego made sure he saw things through wad-colored glasses only. One day, as he made his way to the remnants of the forest to take down another 50 or so creatures, he was accosted by a handful of little boys who lobbed a number of rotten apples at him. He smiled, thanked them, and then shot one of them in the arm. Oops, he laughed and went on, leaving the shocked boys to clean up their companion. As he strode through the leafy glade, he chomped on one of the apples. A little mealy, but it still had its good bits. He would have to talk to those boys about apple quality when he got back. It gradually dawned on him that there was a lack of sound. No bird song, no rustle of leaves. He stopped and looked around, puzzled. He looked back the way he had come and was startled to see that the path had disappeared. The only way to go was forward. This annoyed him, so he started in the opposite direction. His ego approved. The forest, however, didn't. A wall of briars rose up in front of him. Fine. He started forward where the path still existed, and as he walked, the path continued to disappear behind him. He came out into a clearing. To his wonder, there in front of him were scores of woodland creatures. Well, that makes it easy. He nocked an arrow and sighted toward a large deer. That's as far as he got. The animals rushed on him as one, and by the time they were finished, he and his ego had been obliterated. The forest opened up, the news was made known, and the peasants rejoiced.